Hello guys, welcome back to Techdose, and in this video we will see how to find XOR of any permutation from a given number 1 to n. This is a very important math problem. This will be the first problem which we will be solving, and then we will see two follow-up problems. The first follow-up problem will be how to find XOR in a range x to y, and then we will see follow-up number 2, which is how to find XOR in an index ranged from left to right on an array of elements. Just for a quick recap, you can note that XOR of 1 with 1 will be equals to 0, and the XOR of 0 with 0 will be equals to 0. But the XOR of 1 with 0 will be 1, and the XOR of 0 with 1 will be 1, right? So this is the XOR property. I would like to announce about our DSA live training program, which will guarantee understanding of every programming concept. It makes you interview ready in just 3 months, and it will maximize your offers so that you get the best possible pay and in the best possible company you can. All the sessions will be live interactive sessions, so you will get the feel of a live class and you can ask all your doubts throughout the class. In order to get more details, please WhatsApp us on this given number. Now let's say that in this problem we are required to find XOR in the range of 1 to 4. Now how to find it? One very simple approach is to use a loop and then do XOR from 1 to 4 and get the result. Now the time complexity for this will be order of n, because if we are required to find XOR in the range of 1 to n, we can simply apply a loop and store the result of XOR from 1 to n. Now the process is you can simply bracketize. You can first find 1 XOR 2 and get the result, which will be equals to 3. I have shown this stepwise. This is step number 1. And then you can use this 3 and XOR it with the next value, which is 3. So 3 XOR 3 will be equals to 0, which is according to step number 2. And then 0 will be XORed with this 4 to get the result as 4, as you can see in step number 3. So this is how our loop will actually calculate the answer in order to find XOR from 1 to n. Now this is an order of n solution, and the question is, can we do something better? So let's see one such tricky idea. Now in this case, what I'll do is I'll evaluate XOR values in the range of 1 to 9. I have taken sufficient numbers in order to show you the intuition behind the problem statement. So let's say that we are required to find XOR in the range of 1 to 9. So how do we do it? I have given here the decimal representation of the number and the binary representation of the number as well. Now what we will do is, if I am required to find XOR in the range of 1 to 1, the answer will always be 1, because we are not XORing with any other item. Hence the result is 001. I have also given the decimal number representation of the result, which is 1. Now if you get the result as 1, and if you are XORing it with the next item, which is 2, so this is the binary representation of 2, we will use the previous result and XOR it with the next item. So this is the previous result and we will XOR it with the next item, and if you do it bitwise, then you will get 011, which is equals to 3. And again the result of this was 3, right? So when we now want to do the XOR with 3, so we will take the result and XOR it with 3. So the binary representation of this 3 is 011, and the previous result was 011. So we will XOR this 2 and we will get this 000, which is value 0 in decimal. So like this, if you do for all the numbers till 9, then you will see that your respective stepwise answers will be 1, 3, 0, 4 and so on till 1, right? Now in this case, there is a repeating pattern which you need to identify. It is not very easy to identify this if you are solving this for the first time and you are somewhere around intermediate level. So what you need to do is, you have to find out the repeating pattern here. Now you see that the value 1 is always repeating, okay? And when is this repeating? It is repeating in a jump size of approx 4, right? Now this is also jumping to 4, and if you represent 13, if you represent the numbers till 13, then you will also find that you will get value 1 for 13. Now what about this 3? You see that there are values 0 which is also repeating at the same gap, right? So for 3 it is 0, for 7 it will be 0, it is 0. For 7 it is 0, and if you keep on jumping, then you will find 0 at equal intervals. Now the interval size here is 4, isn't it? So 4 is the interval size after which it is always repeating the number. So it is easy to see the repeating pattern for 1 and 0, but not so easy for this 3. So what about this 3? Now when the value here was 2, this is equals to 3, and when we again try to do the same jump size and move here, the result is 7, the number is 6. When you try to jump again, then the result here will be equals to 11 when the number is 10, right? And similarly for 4, 8, 12 and so on, the number will be exactly the same. The numbers and the result will exactly be the same. So if you enumerate sufficient numbers, then only you will be able to realize that it is repeating pattern, right? So what about this pattern? This pattern is of cycle size 4. So what we can do is, if we know the value of n, then we can simply use the mod 4 operation to get the remainder value. And using the remainder value, we can actually predict the answer. So let's say that the n mod 4 value is 1. Then we will get the answer as 1. If the n mod 4 value was equals to 2, then we will get the answer as n plus 1. If the n mod 4 value was equals to 3, then we will get the answer always as 0. And if the n mod 4 value was equals to 0, then we will get the answer always as equals to n. So this is the repeating pattern, and you need to know it to solve this exact problem. Now this is the pseudocode representation, which is extremely simple. So given the value of n, if you are required to find what will be the XOR in the range of 1 to n, then you can simply use this condition if you know that it is a repeating pattern in a cycle size of 4. And this will exactly give you the answer in order of 1 time. So we have improved from order of n to order of 1. So this was our first question. The next question was a follow-up question. What if I am not required to find from 1 to n, but now I am required to find from a smaller number x to a larger number y? What then? So let's take an example. Let's say that you are required to find XOR in the range of 5 to 8. So we are required to find 5 XOR 6 XOR 7 XOR 8. Now how to do this in order of 1? So first find the range XOR from 1 to 8, and this will be the representation, and you know that we can do with the mod operation in order of 1 time. Now you find the range XOR in the range of the lower value minus 1, and you know it will be 1 to 4. This can also be done in order of 1. And now you XOR these two results. Now whenever you XOR two same items, if the items occurs even number of times, then they will get cancelled out. So you will be left with the uncommon items, which is 5, 6, 7, 8. And this is what we wanted, right? So this is calculated in order of 1, this is calculated in order of 1, and the XOR can be calculated in order of 1. Hence the time complexity for finding XOR in the range of x to y is also order of 1, right? So we have solved successfully our first follow-up problem. Let's look at the second follow-up problem. Now the second follow-up problem was given an array. It can have any items. We want to find range XOR on the array element. So let's say I will say that what is the XOR in the range of, let's say 1 to 3. 1 is the index number, right? So I want to find the XOR between these numbers. Now when this type of question comes, it is not having all the contiguous elements. I mean, it doesn't guarantee it, right? So this problem is not the same as the previous two problems we have solved. This problem is your range XOR query, and I have already made a video on range XOR query. You can go there and see the detailed explanation of this problem. This is also very important but advanced level problem. This is a divide and conquer technique based on the segment trees. So if you want to learn segment trees, then you can go and watch my segment tree construction video and how to implement it. And after that, you can have a look at the range XOR query problem. So this is all about this problem. I hope you enjoyed it. If you found this video helpful, please hit the like button and subscribe to our channel in order to watch more of this programming videos. See you guys in the next video. Thank you.